Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Coffee with Creators podcast. My name is Rob Balasabas. Today is, what is the day today? Today is January 22nd, 2024, and we are wrapping up the first month of 2024. Time is flying by, and things are settling down. I feel like right after the new year, there's so much happening. Getting back to work, there's a pile of emails that you kind of have to reply to and address, and people that you want to reconnect with at work, and you're kind of getting your groove back at work. And I feel like I have that now, and things are under control. Things are under control, and we are back, sort of in a groove of things. And so, yeah, today is January 2020. It's way too early. It's actually really early today, and I'll tell you why I'm getting an early start today in just a minute. But yeah, it is January 22nd, 2024. And glad to have you here. If you are new to the podcast, my name is Rob Balasabas, the host of this podcast. Every now and then, I have friends that join me here as well, and we have really awesome conversations just about the creator economy, the media industry, YouTube, and building a business around content. And if you've been here before, then you know all about that already. So glad to have you back. Like I said, I'm getting an early start today because I am doing some dad duties later this morning. It is 5:37 in the morning. Want to get a couple of hours of work, and then I'm going to be going with my daughter and her class to the ice skating field trip. So that'll be really fun. Really looking forward to that. So today, lots of little updates. It has been, let's see, when was the last episode? The last episode was January 9th. So about almost 2 weeks ago. And I do try to upload every week, but last week was super, super busy. And so, some updates since then that has come to mind. A couple things. Today I want to talk about, all of these YouTubers that are quitting, quote unquote quitting. I want to discuss that with you guys. I want to get your thoughts as well. Because there's a few of them, very big names in the YouTube space that are quitting. They've kind of published videos that they're changing things up, and they're quitting some aspects of their business. The spoiler here is I don't feel like they're completely quitting. It's not like they're completely quitting their business for the most part. They're just shifting how they are running their business and shifting, their own goals and the goals of the business and that sort of thing. And so, but I want to talk about that anyway, because I think there's a really solid lesson there for a lot of us. And so let's talk about that. I also want to share that I'm going to be going to, we're going to get back into events. As you guys know, I attend conferences pretty regularly for work. Work meaning, and again, if you're new, work meaning as head of partnerships at a company called Uscreen, uscreen.tv. We are a video membership platform, and so I'm going to be going and heading out on the road again starting next month. And so next month I'll be in San Diego for Social Media Marketing World. I'd love to see you there. I already have my tickets. I have everything booked. I'm ready to go. Really excited. So if you're going to be in San Diego for Social Media Marketing World, or you are in San Diego or in the surrounding area, would love to connect with you. Would love to set up some time to grab breakfast or coffee. We're going to be probably hosting some dinners there as well. And so I would love to meet you in person. I'm already starting to chat with a few friends, a few colleagues. One of them, I'm going to call you out, Phil. Phil Starkovich, who's the co-founder of TubeBuddy. I'm really excited to catch up with Phil, my old boss over there at TubeBuddy. And so we're going to be grabbing some breakfast really early in the morning, one of the days there. So if you are in San Diego, please reach out. Would love to see you there. The following month in March, we'll likely be in Austin for South by Southwest, and also in LA for Podcast Movement. So if you're going to be in town for any of those events, or you're based in one of those cities, reach out to me. And finally, for now, until future events, Q2 events are finalized, I'll be heading to the UK for TubeFest in May. So shout out to my friend Matt Hughes, who has been working diligently, working really hard to get this event off the ground. This is a newer event This is something, Matt is just an amazing guy, just a community builder, connector, and also a very brilliant entrepreneur and YouTube strategist. And he's really trying to bring that YouTube culture that, a lot of that, there's not many conferences in the UK or in Europe, for that matter, around YouTube. There used to be some VidCons and stuff like that out there, but recently there hasn't been any. And so Matt is, really taking it on himself, and he's created such an awesome movement in such short time to bring this conferences to life in May. I'm excited to be a part of it. I'm going to be seeing some good friends, Nick Nimmin, Justin Evans, who I just actually talked to Justin from Custom Thumbnails last week. We got to catch up. Awesome. Can't wait to see him. Andrew and Pete from Atomicon, as you probably may know them. But yeah, just some amazing names there. And Matt created a WhatsApp group for all the speakers. And it's just been really fun, engaging with them there. Doreen Van Moren is going to be there as well, who's another friend of mine who's been on the podcast on my YouTube channel. So you may be familiar with her. But yeah, it's just awesome lineup. So actually go check out tubefest.live, I believe. If not, I'll have a link in the description and show notes. And if you're in the UK or you can get to the UK, come out there. It's going to be an awesome, awesome event in May. All right. This weekend, spent some time watching football when I could. We had a busy weekend, between church and family stuff and all these things. But got to watch a little bit of football and some really good games. So if you guys are football fans, if you guys are NFL fans, let me know in the comments or send me a DM. Let me know which team you guys are rooting for. It was a really good game yesterday. If you guys saw the games last night, some really good games there last night. Anyways, last thing. We're gonna get into some of our talks here. Last thing, I am thinking a lot more about my email newsletter, and I'll likely be working. I have been using MailerLite. I've been, to be honest, really slacking on it, not being super consistent. One of the things this year that I would like to do, one of the channels, probably my top focus as far as new channels, is my email newsletter. Now, my email newsletter is not a new channel. I've had an email list for quite some time. As you guys know, some of you might receive my newsletters, my sporadic, really inconsistent newsletters from time to time last year, over the last couple of years. This year, I want to change that. I want to be really consistent, and I think I started a free trial on Active Campaign last week, and I'm excited to dive into it. Spoke to the folks there. I'm really excited to be migrating my MailerLite list, or my email list from MailerLite over to Active Campaign. And so yeah, let me know if you're using Active Campaign. Let me know if you are using your email newsletter altogether. And I really kind of want to build it in public, I guess, is sort of the term there. I want to build this in public. And so you may hear more about my journey and my work through my email newsletter and building that up, creating lead magnets, automations, all those things. I really want to get way better at that this year. And so Active Campaign will be my partner for that. So let me know. It's unofficial, but there you go. You're hearing it from here. Let me know if you're active with your newsletter. If you are not, let me know why. I actually really do want to know some of the pain points. You probably share them with me. And I want to build this in public. So stay tuned for more of that stuff around email newsletters. All right. I think it's really important as creators. It's definitely something, and again, I admit, it's something I've been weak on. So yeah, let's build that together. If you are already crushing it with your newsletter, please let me know as well. Send me some tips, send me some advice. Maybe come on and message me, and we can get on the podcast together and kind of talk it through, talk some shop around email newsletters. And if you know any email newsletter experts, I would love to meet them as well. I would love to meet some email newsletter experts out there. All right. So let's get into today's topic, which is YouTubers quiet quitting or quitting. But before that, though, let's thank our sponsors. One of them here, which is StreamYard. Hey, just a really quick break from the podcast. In case you're wondering how I create content, how I film and record podcasts, how I live stream, Here's how I do it. I use a tool called StreamYard. It is the easiest way to live stream and record content. I'm scrolling through here. If you're watching the video, I love using StreamYard. I've been using them for years when they were just a startup. Up until now, I love using them. I love the team that's over there. Super helpful. They've got an amazing community as well. And if you're a creator, they also have a really awesome affiliate program. If you're using them, you should definitely jump on that affiliate program. I'm on it. I love it. I love using StreamYard. And so if you are looking for a tool to help you create content, make you look really professional, go live on multiple platforms, record your podcast, record your solo podcast, or with guests or multiple guests, then make sure you go check out StreamYard. You can use the link in the description to get a free trial. Let them know that Rob sent you. And if you have any questions, I have so many videos here on my channel all about StreamYard and how to use StreamYard and all the things. And if you can't find your answers in any of those videos, then leave a comment below with your questions about StreamYard, and I'll make sure it gets answered in a future video. All right, so go check out StreamYard, and now back to the episode. All right, thank you so much, StreamYard, and actually just published a full StreamYard overview video on my channel here, and so go look for it. It's in the StreamYard playlist, but should also be one of the more recent videos. If you are just sort of catching this episode when I publish it near or around there. All right. So, So again, thank you so much, StreamYard. All right, let's talk about YouTubers quitting. Now, this kind of really is, very interesting. In the last few weeks, in the last couple weeks, I would say 2-3 weeks, there's been a number of creators, bigger creators, that have been quitting, right? Sort of changing. And there's if you look up YouTube, I'm on YouTube right now, and let's say YouTubers quitting. There is quite a number of videos around there. So let me actually. I know some of you are watching this on the video version. Some of you are not. But let's share my screen here. Just make sure my email is not fully open or really confidential Google Sheets here. But all right, there is my. All right, so there's a lot of them quitting. So let me share my screen. All right, so now you see my screen. You kind of see what I'm looking at here. Matt Pat, who, by the way, my son knows, which is really interesting. Matt Pat, I'm very familiar with Matt and see a lot of his stuff. There's a lot of commentary as well from a lot of channels. DSLR video shooter. This, if you guys are not familiar with this creator, such an awesome creator, by the way. I'd love for you guys to check out this video. All right, DSLR video shooter. I've learned so much from him over the years. And seeing him, Daniel from our team shared this video with me not too long ago on our internal Slack from Uscreen. Daniel Kosmala. He shared this video last week internally, and I caught it. I was like, oh man, that's crazy. And I watched the whole thing, and there's a lot of through line and common, sort of points that a lot of these creators are sharing in terms of why they're quitting. I actually also watched MKBHD's video here on quitting on YouTube. Now, he didn't quit. Marquez did not quit on YouTube. He just kind of gave his commentary on it. And so I just thought it was really interesting because I think, and I posted this on LinkedIn. There it is. I posted this on LinkedIn last week. I want to say Friday. Was it Friday? Maybe Saturday. Or I scheduled it. But it says 2 days ago, which is technically Saturday. But the post, that I put in there was a very loud takeaway from the recent creators quitting on YouTube is really that you have to find a place where you're content and not content, right? Not create content creator, but you have to find a place, I feel like, whether you're a YouTuber or not, you have to find a place in your career, in your life, where you're content. And I'm not here to be all philosophical on you or anything, but I think that is what I'm hearing from all the video creators, these really big creators, right? as they reflect on all the work that they've done, all the years that they've done, all the things that they've accomplished, I think they're realizing that, they need to find a place where they're content. And also the word joy, right? I think that what they are realizing, and this is something I've heard even before this whole thing, outside of the YouTubers quitting topic, is that you need to find a place where you have joy. And they are not finding it. They're not finding it because they're not doing it anymore. They're changing things up. They're not finding it in more views. They're not finding it in more subscribers, in more fame and more money, more milestones, climbing the next mountain to the next big thing and getting on the next, big podcast or whatever it may be, getting on the next, be a keynote at the next big, VidCon or whatever. It's not really where they're finding joy. They're realizing that, hey, I've got here. This is kind of what I'm hearing from them. Hey, I've gone to the mountaintop of all the success and all the fame and all the money, and that's just not where joy is. And DLSR, I can't even say it. It's too early. DSLR video shooter, his video, look it up. It's Time for Change. He really talks a lot more about like, hey, I want to spend more time with my family. I want to spend more time with the people that I love, right? That for him is sort of where he is refocusing things. He doesn't want to be managing a bunch of people. He doesn't want to have a big team. And that really works for him. And that's kind of what he is saying, right? And it reminds me, I mean, this is more, there's a quote from the Bible, this is more biblical, but it says, I've learned the secret of being content in any and every situation. Any and every situation, whether well-fed or hungry, whether living in plenty or in want, right? And so I think this is a bit of a struggle. This is what I hear anyway. This is my interpretation. This is kind of my observation is that, hey, like these guys have done the thing. They've got the play buttons and all the big things. And it's just not enough. It's not where it is. It's, you kind of end up and you're like, okay, well, I got here and it's kind of empty. Right? It makes me really sad, right? It makes them really sad. Like, it's kind of empty. You know what? I think this is not really it. And so let me kind of pull things back. Let me actually refocus. And let me, these guys have thought deeply about what they find most, value and joy in. And at the end of the day, what do they want to be known for? And what do they want to be remembered for? And where do they want to put, the limited time that they have into the work that they're going to be able to do during their time here, and what do they want to do with that? And you know what? It's not more subscribers, not more followers, not more stage time, not more all of this stuff, right? It's just like, hey, let me refocus. Let me focus on the things that really will matter, right? And so that's kind of the thing that I'm taking away from this, and I think it's really important for us. Whether we are, for me, I have a small channel. I also have a really amazing job helping creators. But, outside of that, I'm also a family man. I have a family, right? I have kids. I have a wife. And I think this is really important that, hey, there's all of these things. And sometimes this is all we're known for. And this is what we focus on. And does that really matter? And I think, yes, doing excellent work, right, that matters, that helps other people. I think that's really great. There's a purpose for that, but there's also a bigger purpose, right? That you're here for, and that's whether it's your family or some other things. I think that's something that requires deep thinking, right? Sometimes it requires deep thinking, and sometimes we're chasing things that, at the end of the day, will not give you true joy, will not satisfy you, not make you more content, and that's a really dangerous place to be. And I think that's when you have to kind of pause. Kind of what these guys have done, these creators have done, is pause and like, hey, what is really important for me, right? And so I think that is again, I'm not here to give any advice to even yourself, but definitely not to big creators. I think they are, working and playing a different game than I am. But just from listening to them speak, I've met a lot of and have really, close relationships with very successful people. And, this is not a new emotion that I've heard before, that I haven't heard before, from people that have quote unquote, reach the mountaintop. And so I think it's really important, even for me, to kind of start thinking, all right, cool. Like, what am I going to do with my time? One of my, it's really kind of this existential, like, sort of dilemma of thinking of like, all right, cool. Like, as I get older too, like, I start thinking, like, I start seeing time differently, and I start seeing, okay, cool. Like, there's only a limited amount of time. You kind of see the end a little bit closer, and you start talking to people, and you're just like, it's not like I have a lot of years left, but I also don't, at the same time. And so, it's really important, even at this stage of life, I'm in my early 40s, to be prioritizing what matters, right? Taking the days off, right? Clocking out, to be home, to be available for dinner, and spending time with your family. And that's, for me, that's me. You will have something different, maybe, right? It could be different, but you could also be a family person too. I reconsider, I think really hard about, traveling more, right? Is this worth it? Is this event worth it? Is this conference worth it? I'm going to be gone for 3-4 days. Is that worth it? Right? And that's a valid question. Whereas like 10, 15 years ago, I would have jumped right on it. I'm like, yes, traveling for work, that's so amazing. And it still is. It's still very amazing. But, is it worth it? Am I able to get the results I want, that I'm looking for, for my job, for my work? And is it worth it to be away from family, right? Things like that really come to mind more. And I spend more time thinking that through. So, little things like that. And man, there's so many other things to talk about there. Your physical health and all that stuff, your mental health. I think these are all factors as you decide how you want to play this game of your career. Especially as a content creator, you could, the game is designed to have you continually chasing the next thing, right? The next brand deal, the next revenue stream, the next, subscriber milestone, right? The game is designed that way, right? And so you kind of have to step away from the game a little bit to understand, all right, cool, these are great vanity metrics, these are great metrics, these are great success metrics, but which ones really matter? Which ones, at the end of the day, if you are here to build a business, does more subscribers really matter? Or should I go and focus on building a business? Focus on building your email list, right? Things that you can automate, right? Things that you can scale. Should I be creating more relationships and networking with brands more if you want to get more brand deals? I have a very small channel relatively, right? We've got 10,000 subscribers here so far. And, this is not a flex in any way, but the revenue stream is really decent here, for a very small channel. Now I speak to a lot of larger channels, and they don't have revenue streams in place other than YouTube AdSense. And, that's not a business, right? Because you're relying on something that's super, super volatile. It goes up and down. 1 month you could make, $100, well, more. Let's just say, for example, 1 month you can make $100. Next month you can make $1,000, and then the following month you can make $300, and then the following month you can make $500, and then the next month it's $2,000. So it's very volatile. You can't really plan that business, right? And so things like that, as you think through your revenue streams, not all revenue streams are the same. Some will be more lucrative. Some will be more passive. You don't have to be, present to be creating that revenue stream like AdSense. But also you can't scale something like that. And so you have to think of creating your own products and that sort of thing. And we talk about that all the time here. So yeah, those are my thoughts there. I would love to hear your thoughts on this whole idea of YouTubers quitting. I would love to hear your thoughts, how it's affected you, or it's made anything that you've been thinking about. Send me an email, send me a DM on Instagram or LinkedIn, whatever's easiest for you. But I would just love to hear what this community feels about this whole idea of YouTubers quitting. I think it's something that's just going to happen more and more as creators, mature, and they're looking for the next sort of like, what is my business going to evolve to? We can't continually create, right? Creators can't continually create unless they have a really good team, unless they have a really good support team where their job is just to create. Because naturally, as creators grow their business, they have to take on additional hats. They have to wear other hats, right? Okay, now I have to be a CEO. I have to be now a CFO. I need to plan finances, all these things. I need to be an operator, right? I need to be a business operator. And so some of those hats you don't want to wear, right? And that's just it. And sometimes you either have to find somebody that will wear that hat for you on your team, but some creators aren't able to find those people to wear those hats. And so then you're stuck in a predicament of, okay, well, I have to keep wearing this hat. I don't enjoy it. And so either I have to go back to a version of my business where I don't need this hat, this role, or I quit, right? It's really hard. You either quit, you find somebody, or you do it yourself, right? But a creator can't just be a creator and have a gigantic business if that's what you're going for. You need to hire people, or you need to do it yourself, and there's only limited time in the day, right? Time is limited, and so you can't just wear 8 different hats and do that, in a healthy way over a long period of time. So that being said, that's my thoughts on the whole topic. I would love to hear your thoughts as well. If you want to jump on the podcast and kind of share your thoughts with me. Even more fun is actually if you go to my Spotify page. If you go to Spotify, you can leave me a voice message, and that'd be the best way to actually. And then that way I can share your voice message in a future video and kind of share my thoughts on that as well. All right. So before we run, again, I want to say thank you to our other friends over here who have been supportive of this podcast, my YouTube channel, which is Opus Clip. I love using them as well. Let's take a word from them, and then we're going to wrap this up today. Hey, we're going to take a quick break from the episode because I want to share this tool with you called Opus Clip. Opus Clip is a tool that I discovered a few months ago, and it is a tool that so many of my creator friends and many, many more established creators are using to create short form content for YouTube Shorts, TikTok, Reels, you name it. Anything short form, Opus Clip is the place to go. And so I use it for my podcast and my YouTube videos and turning those into short form clips. And Opus Clip is amazing. I've been using them, like I said, for months, and I've been really uploading consistently now with short form content on YouTube Shorts, and it has really grown my channel, not just in audience size, but also in terms of revenue. And so we're reaching way more people, and those folks that are discovering the short form videos that Opus Clip has helped me create is now also watching my long form videos, and it's amazing. It's such a good workflow. It makes it so easy. All you need to do is either upload your long form videos or actually just put in the YouTube URL, and Opus Clip does the rest. Its AI is so good that it creates all of these short form clips, anywhere from 15 to 90 seconds, whatever you like. You can set it up. It sets up what's called a virality score, which actually tells you the likelihood of this video going really, really big. It's got AI Copilot. It's got speaker detection for those of you that have multiple faces for, say, video podcasts. It's got dynamic layouts. It's even got AI B-roll, which is in beta at the moment, but it's such an awesome tool because it actually pulls B-roll through AI into your short form videos and your clips. And so it's really awesome. And lastly, it's got AI, all of the emojis and all of the text and branding and all of those features. But my real favorite part about Opus Clip is that its AI is so intuitive that it finds the perfect moments from your long form and turns those into short form clips. And so if you want to try this out, you can check out Opus Clip. There's a free trial. I'll make sure that there's a link in the description or in the show notes, and you can start out with Opus Clip right away. They also have an awesome community, and so make sure you join that as well so you can connect with other creators that are using Opus Clip. All right, so go check out Opus Clip. Tell them Rob sent you, and now back to the episode. All right. Thank you so much, Opus Clip. Great. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me as well. If you made it this far, then I appreciate you so much. Make sure that you subscribe to the podcast or the YouTube channel, whichever you are listening or watching this on. And thank you again. I would love to hear from you. So whether it's about YouTube quitting or just if you have a question or anything at all around building an audience and a business around your content, that's what this podcast is all about. And so reach out to me in all the ways in the description and show notes. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you have an awesome week or weekend or summer or whenever you're listening to this podcast. All right. All the best. God bless you guys. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care.